scares you most about your future?
Maybe not fulfilling a lot of other people's dreams.
The phenomenon is taken over.
I had the poise to handle any circumstance.
One of the great performances of all time.
Adversity.
What a tough defeat for LeBron. Not 4, not 5.
Pressure.
The Miami Heat have won the title.
This is what it's all about right here.
My city, I love you. I'm back.
Cleveland, this is for you.
I think it was a God-given ability,
but that only takes you so far.
There he goes.
I would never cheated the process on wanting to be great in this game. This put me in a position to just try to be one of the best ever.
I'd say he's done a good job of that, right, fellas? Welcome into First Take. I'm Victoria Arlen, filling in for Molly alongside Stephen A. We've got Tim Legler, Brian Windhorst here with us, Keyshawn Johnson, Dan Orlovsky will be joining us shortly. But first, good morning, fellas.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good morning. Doing well, doing well. All right, LeBron James. He was initially disappointed by the Los Angeles Lakers losing out to the Dallas Mavericks in their trade bid for Kyrie Irving. But the four-time champion said he has already put that past him and he is ready to roll with whatever his team in LA has moving forward.
I can't sit here and say I'm not disappointed on not being able to land such a talent, but someone that I had great chemistry with and know I got great chemistry with on the floor that can help you win championships. In my mind, in my eyes. But my focus has shifted now. My focus has shifted back to where it should be, and that's this club now and what we have in the locker room.
All right, with all that being said, Stephen A., I'm going to start with you. Where do the Lakers go from here?
Well, what I will say, number one, they're not a lost cause. But before I say that, let me give LeBron James props, giving that interview to my man Mike Wilbon. You see it all over the air, the Godfather himself, Mike Wilbon. It was nice to see LeBron talking to a brother like what Michael Wilbon. Thank you very, very much. So I think that's a very big thing to bring up because it's rare. Having said all of that, here's the deal. When I think about the Los Angeles Lakers, I appreciate LeBron James talking about, just talking about his focus. That's why he's such an incredible role model, because he talks about moving forward and not getting married to stuff too early, before it actually happens. Don't get too high, don't get too low. It ain't done until it's done, and if it ain't done, you still got to move forward. So I appreciate that. And I'm one of those guys that I look at the Lakers, and I don't view them as a lost cause, because the West is wide open. It's almost by default. Again, I'm throwing Denver out of the mix. I think Denver's a complete team. If Denver is healthy, combined with the fact that you got to go to that high altitude, I definitely think that's a load for most teams to deal with, and the Lakers ain't equipped to deal with it. Now with Anthony Davis and his perpetually injured self. A superstar when he's balling, when healthy, but damn it, he's always injured. That's the only shade that I could ever throw on Anthony Davis. Having said all of that, against anybody else in the Western Conference, Wendy, Tim Legler, my brothers, I got to tell you, I don't rule out the Lakers' chances of making things interesting. Are they going to the finals? Hell no. I'm not trying to say that at all. But what I am saying is, could they get to the playoffs and make some noise for a couple of rounds? The Lakers do have that capability if they're healthy. Now, that's a big if, and we all know that. But I think because of what we've seen from the Western Conference, I've expected Memphis to be better. I'm shocked at their struggles. The Clippers don't get me started. I know Kawhi Leonard is a superstar when healthy, but he has missed the load management, okay? I just get so disgusted. I feel Ty Lue should look for another job because he can't get to coach the damn team he was hired to coach, okay? I look at them. I look at Dallas. I look at Phoenix. You look Minnesota. Just go all around the Western Conference. Outside of Denver, who can you literally look? Don't get me started with New Orleans and how they've snowballed. Who can you look at? I just look at it and I say, Lakers still have a chance. They're still in the mix. They still can make things interesting. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah,
we were going to Wendy, all right?
Yeah, we're going to you, Tim.
I'm going to jump on that. So you're not wrong. And if you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis, and they both are healthy when the playoffs start, you can't discount their ability to not only make things interesting, but to give any of those top three seeds a run for their money. There's a lot of teams that got to kind of climb over in the meantime. Right now, barring anything dramatic happening at the trading deadline, I think it's going to be hard for them to move Westbrook. They got a couple first-round picks they probably want to hold on to. But I don't know. There's a lot of big names thrown out there that might end up in L.A. I don't know if anything's going to happen or not. Let's say nothing does. As currently constructed, This is a team that feels like, hey, we'll take our chances against a Denver, against a Memphis, against a Sacramento in the first round. And actually, it's probably the strangest year I've ever seen in any conference. When you look at the teams that are lurking beneath the surface, and you mentioned, Memphis right now struggling a little bit, but what about these other teams? Golden State.
Yeah.
They get Curry back. Clay is officially back. Wiggins just came back from an injury. You telling me that that's not a team that could go on the road in the first round and beat any of those top 3 seeds? Of course. The Clippers, Kawhi Leonard finally starting to string some games together where he's doing his thing every night. The Dallas Mavericks already had Luka. Now they've got Kyrie. Let's see what that looks like. And then, oh, by the way, there's another team. What about the Phoenix Suns? They're going to get Devin Booker back, and they're supposed to be active before the trading deadline on Thursday. So you have all these teams that we expected to see at the top of the West hovering and lurking. So I think any of those top seeds are going to have their hands full, and that would include against the Lakers. Unfortunately for the Lakers, they're going to have a different road because they're going to have to probably get into the play-in first, escape that, and then they're going to end up probably going on the road to play either Denver or Memphis in the first round.
Stephen A., yesterday I had it was a great opportunity for me to watch the interview that LeBron and Michael Wilbon did live as it was happening in the morning here in L.A. And if you're a sports fan or a LeBron fan, I would go to the ESPN platforms and watch as much of this interview as you can because it was an absolutely incredible conversation by two masters, a master interviewer and a master player who also knows how to give an interview. Absolutely. And this interview, I was thinking about Pat Riley while I was watching this interview. And I was thinking about David Griffin while I was watching this interview because Pat Riley had LeBron James walk on him after building this incredible team. And, they cut some corners at the end on the luxury tax and with some of the veteran players on the team. Yes. And LeBron said, I'm out of here. And also Dwayne was a little banged up. And David Griffin was kept on the shortest leash you could possibly be kept on. And I remember his last year in Cleveland, LeBron basically, even though he was incredible, huffed and puffed for weeks because he wanted Isaiah Thomas out of that team. And they finally, even though LeBron wouldn't commit past that season, they finally dumped a bunch of draft picks and players to get a couple of guys at the trade deadline to just help them, and they ended up making the finals. And now I see LeBron James, who has given the Lakers the longest leash I've ever seen. And I know that he obviously at times you can pick out individual moments where he's criticized the roster, but signing the extension before the year was like giving them a gift of platinum to say, don't worry about my free agency, and I'm going to sign for next year, and don't worry about anything. And here he is. And the reason that the Lakers didn't make this trade was a relic of the Russ Westbrook trade. They got outbid by the Mavericks. It wasn't because the Lakers, didn't have enough or were afraid to put something in. They put the picks in. It's still a penalty of the Westbrook trade. And the devastation of that is still here. And here's LeBron going, it's okay, guys. We're going to be fine. We're going to go for it. And so I just can't believe the way LeBron gives the Lakers and the city of Los Angeles, where he must truly love everything about being here and truly love being a Laker because he has given way more to this team than he's ever given to the teams in the past when his time is short. So let me just say this. The Lakers can absolutely 100% probably make a deal with Russell Westbrook between now and Thursday. But that deal may only incrementally make them better and potentially cost them the draft picks or cost them the cap space that they have this summer. And what Rob Pelinka has got to decide is moving the ball on this team that's in 13th place a few yards ahead and giving them maybe a 5% or 10% chance more of getting into the playoffs or getting into the second round of the playoffs is worth blowing up the opportunity in the summer. Because, by the way, the Kyrie story with the Lakers ain't over. They can sign him this summer. They don't have max cap space now, but they've got a lot of it if they just keep Russ and say goodbye in July. They can still do that. And so and here's LeBron going, whatever we do is fine. I mean, I know he really wants help, but he's also saying publicly to Mike Wilbon in front of millions of people, he knows you're going to see that interview within minutes because we turned that sucker around from Malika's show and said, let's get this on right now, at the top of the show. He knew that, and he gave the Lakers a pass. He goes, it's no big deal. We're going to be fine. So my question for the Lakers, what's next is, do they do something with Russ to get him off the roster, even if it's just to minorly upgrade their team and maybe take on players that ruin their cap space? Or do they just ride this out, Stephen A? That, to me, is one of the biggest questions between now and Thursday.
Well, first of all, Wendy, I have to get on you. I've never done this, Tim Legler, on First Take to my brother, Brian Windhorst, who does an exceptional job for them. But I am absolutely appalled and disappointed that you are sitting there speaking to the American public, acting like you don't know why LeBron James loves L.A. so much. What is there not to love about L.A.? I mean, come on now. I mean, Wendy's there significantly more than you and I, and damn it, we're jealous.
I'm here right now.
All the time. You're here right now, okay? So just stop it, okay? Don't get me started. I mean, I love my boss, Dave Roberts, but he and I, we can't talk half the time because of the times I was supposed to be in L.A. and can't make it out to L.A. because of the commitments they got for me here. That was not part of my agreement. I want America to know this. I am supposed to be spend more time in L.A., but that is a different subject for another day. I will not digress. I just want to make sure that you know why LeBron James loves it out there so much. Who the hell doesn't love L.A.? That's number one. Number two, so much props, just as an aside, guys, to the greatness of Mike Wilbon.
Yes.
And I saw the interview. He's the Godfather. You see him on PTI every day. Everybody keeps forgetting. Long-time columnist for the Washington Post, a mentor, a friend, a big brother, and the Godfather to most of us in this industry. He is Michael Wilbon. Nobody was better suited to do that interview than him yesterday. So I'm proud of LeBron and Adam Medelson and those guys for making that happen. Having said all of that, let me say this about LeBron. I got to tell you, Wendy, I'm not moving Russell Westbrook. Now, if there's locker room issues that we don't know about, I got you. What I've seen from Russell Westbrook on the court, coming off the bench for the Los Angeles Lakers, how I see him cheering on his teammates when they do good things on the basketball court, I got to tell you something. Listen, Russell Westbrook has taken a lot of hits over the years because people have, intimated or leaned towards, quote unquote, selfishness and all of this other stuff. That's not what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm wrong. That's not what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a brother that always plays 100%, never cheats the game, and oh, by the way, he's playing well. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.